If you're questioning whether you should get one of these top 7 Nike frames of 2021, the answer is just do it. Woohoo! That was clever. Hello and welcome. As always, I am Eyeglass Tyler. I want to talk to you about some Nike frames. The top 7 Nike frames of 2021, in fact. I think I just should go over some of the features, what to expect with these different frames, give you the rundown on them, and ultimately, by the end of this, you'll have a good idea as to whether or not one of these is right for you. And no reason not just get into it. So we're going to start with the Rabid 2, and Rabid 2 means there was a Rabid 1, and there isn't really much difference between them, to be honest with you. If you were familiar with the Rabid in the original form, you can expect everything the same out of this frame here. It is a scaled down version of the Adrenaline, which, as you might guess, is going to come up later in this list. It does have a polycarbonate lens in it if you're getting it in non-prescription, and there are a variety of different lens color options available in that form. Polycarbonate means that it's going to be lightweight and incredibly impact resistant. The frame itself is very lightweight. The frame material they used is incredibly lightweight as well as very flexible and also durable, thankfully, because it's going to be used for sports, it's going to be used for activities, and you don't want them breaking. You also don't want them falling off your face. And while there is no grip to speak of on this, and the nose and the temple, it does have a little bit of a textured temple tip here, which might help a little bit. But overall, I think what you're going to need to rely on is just the tension that it puts on the side of the head to keep it on your face, which we've been selling this frame for a long time, and honestly, we don't get feedback that people are saying these don't work well because they fall off my face a lot. So you shouldn't have to be concerned with that. It is a good wrapped frame. It is an 8 base lens, so you're going to have all the coverage that you would expect and need out of a wrapped frame, and really straightforward, honestly. It doesn't have a spring hinge, but like I said, it's very flexible. I don't think that that is a downside at all. It is very much prescription ready. Contact us, we will help you with that, because there are limitations to what we can do prescription wise when it comes to a wrapped frame, but we would love to help you with that. When it comes to fit, this is an SFW of 132, which would land you at a men's medium or a women's medium to large. Next up, we have the Sentiment, and this is more of a women's frame aesthetically. Not to say that only women can get it, but honestly, I think that it will look a little feminine on your typical man's face. It is a bit more of a cat eye shape. I call it kind of not a traditional cat eye shape. It's maybe more of a modified cat eye. It's a lot more rectangular for sure. And it is, again, a very lightweight material. They are using a nylon material in the frame. All of these frames are quite lightweight, but I'm not going to stop saying it. I'm going to keep saying it just because it's impressive. Again, very flexible. In particular, at the temple tip here, it is that much more flexible, and you do have grip on this guy, both grip on the temple and grip on the nose. So these are going to stay on your face really well all day long. It is a 6 base, which means the lens itself is not as wrapped, but as you can see by the design here, they built into it essentially like a side shield sort of design, where it does give you the wrap protection from light. You just don't have the wrapped lens all the way around the eye, so you might not have quite the field of view as you do with a traditional wrapped lens, but it is much better for stronger prescriptions, and you guessed it. This is available in prescription, and with an SFW of 136, if a man were to decide to wear it, it would be about a medium to large fit, and a pretty solid large fit for women. Next up, we have the Maverick RGE. Maybe it stands for Ridge, maybe it stands for regular guy, and I didn't think of an acronym for this. I was just kind of throwing that out there. Thought I might be able to say something funny, and nothing funny came. And this is from the Maverick family. It is a smaller version of the Maverick. Essentially, there is the original Maverick, which has a much larger lens. This is a more, I think, everyday sized lens. and is going to be good for everyday uses for sure. Again, very lightweight, very durable nylon frame, very flexible in the temples. It is a 6-base frame. It doesn't have so much of that side shield, essentially wrap design in it like the former frame here, but it's still a really solid frame, I think, for sport use, even if you're looking for a wrap design. Maybe not for you, but it still is better than your typical non-sport 6-base frame. It does have a vented nose bridge. This is a nose bridge that you'll find on a few different models through Nike. It's kind of a saddle design. And what's unique about this bridge design is there is tons of airflow that can go through this. So it's going to help with minimizing fogging, which honestly, it's another thing that's a benefit of a 6-base lens, is because it's not as wrapped around your face, not as close to your face, it tends to already be better at being fog resistant. And so I think that's something to speak for on this frame. Absolutely. Some versions of this are not super comfortable if you don't have the right bridge, but this is quite comfortable because of the material they used. It's a lot more of a flexible rubber, and being rubber, it is grip, and you do have grip on the temple as well. And again, it is more flexible at the temple tip than it is in the middle of the temple, which I think is just going to mean more comfort. I think it'll stay on your face because it does have good tension, and so you should be able to wear it all day comfortably without having to think about it. It is prescription ready. Like I said, it's a 6-base, which means it is very versatile in terms of prescriptions that it will accommodate. It is with an SFW of 139, which will land you at a men's large or a women's extra large. Next up, the ever popular Adrenaline 2. And just like the Rabid 2, this is the Adrenaline 2, but honestly, if you're familiar with the Adrenaline original, then it's not going to be any different from what you were already familiar with. This is actually a Rexy's winner. If you don't know what that means, check us out on YouTube, because we actually live streamed the whole Rexy's this year, and that was super fun. Anyway, I mentioned polycarbonate on the Rabid. I'm going to mention it here again in non-prescription. They come with a polycarbonate lens, but actually all of these do as well. So you can expect that same very lightweight, very impact resistant lens being a standard option in all of these frames in non-prescription. And while I say non-prescription, let's just again remind you, this is available in prescription. This is a wrap frame, as I mentioned earlier. It's essentially just a larger size of the Rabid. And so again, a classic wrap design. You're getting an 8-base lens here. You're getting all that same grip feature. Again, no actual rubber material or grip material, but because of its tension on the head, because of the pressure that, and I hate using that because they say pressure on the head and you think that that's going to make it uncomfortable, but these are designed for comfort. They're designed to put enough pressure to keep it on your face, but not so much that it is uncomfortable, as long as you're getting the right fit for you. And while we're speaking of fit, SFW of 136, which lands you at a men's medium to large or a women's large. Next up, we have another Rexy's winner. Again, YouTube, check it out. The Brazen Boost. This is a nice sporty frame with maybe a little more of a low profile. It's not super aggressively sporty, but again, very lightweight, very flexible. This does have grip on it all over. You have grip on the nose and actually a nose bridge here that can accommodate a wider range of nose shapes, even going into some of the flatter nose bridges, just because you have a little more material here. But it does have grip, like I mentioned. There's also grip in the temple. I do like the grip in the temple design here. It's kind of a seamless transition from the non-rubber to the rubber portion of the temple. It's really hard to explain without you just looking at it, but it's a good design, and I think that it suits this frame very well. It is a flatter temple, so it's going to be more accommodating for helmets. If you do want to wear this in a more aggressive activity, this is going to be very helmet compatible and very comfortable, and it's going to also work well with hats, with that being the case. It is, like I mentioned, very lightweight, very much prescription ready. This is a 6-base design, so it's not as wrapped of a lens, but they did incorporate that sort of built-in side shield here as well. So you do get that wrap protection, at least from light coming through. But again, keep in mind, not the same field of view as you would with a fully wrapped lens, but much better prescription wise, which you can get this in prescription in a much wider range of prescriptions than you can a more wrapped design. With an SFW of 136, this is a solid men's medium to large and women's large. Next up, we have the Nike Breeze, yet another Rexy's winner. Why would we have so many Rexy's winners in here? Because maybe they're great frames, and that's why I'm talking to you about them. So the Breeze is another more feminine design. This does have a much more aggressive kind of eye cup to it, I think is the thing that stands out first and foremost to me. It is a more standard 6-base lens, so very prescription ready. But like the Sentiment, this does have that kind of built-in wrap protection in it, but this much more so and much more aggressively, I would say. And so what you're going to get with this added benefit of protection from wind, dirt, dust, and debris, it's going to be much more like an eye cup kind of design. This does have a lot of grip on the temple, great grip on the nose, so it's definitely going to stay on your face. And of course, lightweight, very flexible, and immensely prescription ready. I'm going to keep saying that because I think that's super important. It is to me anyway. With an SFW of 138, this would be, if a man were to go for it, a large fit, and for a woman, a good large to extra large fit. And last but not least, yet another Rexy's winner, the Nike Show X2. This has been around for a long time and for good reason, because this is a fantastic sport frame. It has everything that you would want and expect from a traditional wrap, semi-rimless sport frame. I think it has a ton of sport applications, just about every sport out there. This is great. And again, grip everywhere. It is lightweight. It is flexible. I don't know that the lightweight this might be the least lightweight frame here. As lightweight as it is more of a hefty frame, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's very much helmet compatible. Like I mentioned, great for just about every sport out there. The cool thing about the semi-rimless frame is that it allows for interchangeability. You can get multiple lenses for the one chassis, and you can swap them out as needed for different light conditions, different sports. And so an awesome feature to keep in mind. It does have an adjustable nose bridge, which I think is very important. It is a vented nose bridge design, so that helps with fogging, it helps with comfort, it keeps them more moisture wicking, I guess you could say, so that it keeps it gripping as well as it possibly can, even as you sweat. This is prescription ready, despite the fact that it is more of a wrap design, but still more limited in the RX. So reach out to us. We'd love to help you with that. And if you're interested in this, like I've said, this has been around for a long time. Stay tuned, because 2021 is the season of the release of the Show X3. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you are as well. With an SFW of 136, this is a really good medium to large fit for men. I think it's a very versatilely fitting frame. For women, more of a large. That pretty well wraps up what you need to know about these top 7 Nike sunglasses of 2021. And if you feel like I missed anything, definitely comment down below. We would love to hear from you and get back to you. Don't forget, all of these are very much prescription ready, and we have opticians who'd love to help you with that. By the way, if you decide to order from SportRx, thanks to our See Better guarantee, you never have to worry about getting something that isn't right or doesn't work for you. You can have as long as 45 days with them to figure that out. Just contact us and we'll take care of you, no matter what that means on our end. And like I mentioned ad nauseum, we have opticians who are eager to hear from you. So definitely reach out to us so we can help you get it right the first time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting or valuable information. If so, throw us a like. You can find relevant videos here, and also we have great content on our social media outlets, and I would encourage you to check us out there as well at SportRx.